I'm so excited for this YouTube tutorial because I know I've been gone for forever. I've just been so busy, and so I've just limited myself to Instagram recently, so I'm trying to get better about my blog and YouTube. So I finally created another YouTube video, and it's gonna be a fun prom look for you guys. I was also really excited to collaborate with the lovely Irina. I found her on Instagram and her looks are just so timeless and beautiful, and I just love the way she does her makeup. It's just so classy and gorgeous. So I was really excited to do a collaboration with her, and so she created a more natural prom look, so I'll link that down below for you guys so you guys can see her look as well. Let's get started. Alright guys, so I already actually did my skincare routine, which is my moisturizer, my eye cream, and my primer. And it's really important you wait a few minutes between doing your skincare routine and your foundation, because if you don't, it's going to mess with the texture of the foundation, it's going to get splotchy and not look that great. So I'm going to let that soak in my skin for a few minutes, and I'm actually going to do my eyeshadow first. So let's get started on the eyes. So I'm going in with Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow and Taupe. And I'm just going to start off lightly at the top. And it's basically just really lightly carving out the shape of my brow. And then if it's too thick at all, I'm just going to easily just go back through and brush that down. Again, by brushing it down, it's going to keep the product in the middle of my brow as opposed to outside my brow. That way when you come back up like this, you have a really nice line. And it's not outside your brow line. So now that my brows are done, I'm going to go back in with my concealer just to sharpen them up. And I'm using the Naked Skin by Urban Decay in shade Light Neutral. So I'm just going to do 3 little dots. And I'm keeping them far away from my brow as well, because if you do it too close, you could actually end up messing up the brow. And you'll see what I mean here in just a second. I'm just going to lightly pull. And I'm using the same brush. You can use concealer brush. I just like to use this brush because it's amazing. So then I'm going back in and just carving out the brow. I'm going to softly carve out the line for the brow down below. I'm just dragging this down. And then right here, I'm going to curve this upwards. And really pull it down. And that's how you get that really sharp line for your brows. It's not actually with the brow products, it's actually with the concealer afterwards. So now that I'm done with my brows, I'm going to go in and prime my lid with my MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. And I really like doing this just because my eyelids are a little bit veiny, and this just helps to even out the color, and it helps create a really nice base for your eyeshadow to stick onto. Next, I'll be using my Naked 2 Basics palette, and here I'm taking the color Stark on my Sephora Collection number 27 Pro brush. I'm just lightly blending this on my lid, again, just to kind of help set that primer. Next, I'm just going to take Frisk, which is a little bit deeper, and just start working that into my crease. And then afterwards, see how it's not super blended here, I'm going to go back in with my Sephora Collection brush and just blend that out so it's nice and there's no harsh lines. Next, I'm going to start blending or building that smoky eye by going in with the color Primal on a pencil brush. I'm just lightly tapping that in. You can see it's deepening up the crease here. Then afterwards, going in with the blending brush. Again, I'm just blending that out. The trick to a smoky eye, a really good one, is just to add product and very lightly tap it on. That way you can blend it out and it's nice and smooth. Next, I am going in with Undone in very light movements because this is a dark color. And then once it's there, I'm going to also go back in very lightly and blend that out with a blending brush. Next up, I'm taking the soft shimmery silver color from the Dior The Punk palette. I'm going to first pick up that pigment and then spray it with some MAC Fix Plus. And this will help create a really cool metallic-y look. So I'm going in, just lightly tapping that on. And I'm concentrating that mainly in the middle of my lid, and then working my way to the front when there's less pigment on it. So once this is packed on, then what we do next is go back in with a blending brush again. And just, you can see there's some sharp edges. I'm just going to blend those out right here. Then next up, I am going in with my eyeliner. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to lightly stamp it on and then just lightly drag. It's easier just to do it in small movements as opposed to just doing the whole thing at once. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to lightly drag that. And I'm also using a Stila liquid liner for this just because I really like how it's a really dark black color. Next, I am going to go from the outer line and just lightly drag that back in. So I'm creating a really soft outline of where I want my liner to be. So it's not a straight line, it's kind of more of like a curved line. So curve that down and then fill in the middle part. And you just go back in and do that until you get the line that you like. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going back in through and just kind of outlining the top of my lid, making sure you have those curves. And while that liner is drying before I put on my mascara and my false lashes, I'm going to go in with Undone again. That is the darkest color with my pencil brush. I'm going in underneath my eyes here and just to really smoke that out. Then once that liner has dried, I'm going to go in and curl my lashes. You don't need to do this if you already have beautifully curly lashes, but I don't, so I'm going to curl my lashes really quick. And I'm also going to apply some mascara. My favorite mascara to use is actually from Borghese. I actually got it at Costco, but I really like it because I don't like having super like clumpy lashes. I like having nice long defined lashes, so I love this. I think they discontinued it, but I love using also their Real mascara from Benefit just because it's really nice and I feel like my lashes are nice and defined. So for me personally, I like that, but you can use whatever mascara that you like. So if you guys don't like false lashes, then this is the finished eye look for you guys. But for me, I love them and I'm going to pop some on really quick. So now that the eyes are done, we're going to go in with foundation. So my favorite foundation at the moment is the Luminous Silk foundation from Georgio Armani. You can use whatever foundation you like, drugstore, high-end, doesn't matter. Just going to use a little bit, it's not a sheer foundation, it's more of a medium coverage. And what I'm going to do first is actually just spray my brush with some MAC Fix Plus. And it's just going to help really blend out the product. Next, I'm putting some on the back of my hand. I'm going to dab the brush into the product very lightly, and I'm going to slowly buff that into my skin. And one good thing about this product, or this foundation, is for me, I have really dry skin, and so it's really great because it's not going to dry me out, and that way it'll keep you nice and luminous. So next, taking a damp beauty blender around any area that creases, we're just going to absorb any of that extra product. And like I get creasing right around my forehead, in between my brows, around my smile lines, and definitely under my eyes. After that, I am going in with my concealer. It's the new Naked Skin from Urban Decay. I really can't talk today. It's the new Naked Skin from Urban Decay, and I really like it because it's really lightweight, because I have a huge problem with just the creasing under my eyes. So if you feel like you have that problem too, I really like it because it's full coverage but it's lightweight. So what I'm going to do is just lightly press that on underneath my eyes and on my nose as well. It is slightly lighter than my skin, so this will also help to highlight. And create a little flower on my head, on my cupid's bow, around my lips, my chin. So now that's on, I'm going to go back on with my beauty blender and just press that into my skin. And I'm going to be really careful as to not go too close to my under eye area since we already did the eyeshadow. I'm just going to lightly press that in. Again, I'm not sweeping it because if you sweep it, it's going to move the product. By pressing it into your skin, it's going to hold the product in place right where you put it. And because my under eye area creases so fast, I'm actually going to go in and set it right now. The powder I recommend using, especially for prom if you're taking pictures, is this translucent powder from Laura Mercier. But I really like it because you can see it has a little bit of color to it and it doesn't have that whiteness to it. If you have anything that's white or like see-through, it won't show up on your skin when you blend it out, but it will show up in photos. So I'm doing with my beauty blender, it's still wet. I'm taking a little bit of that product. What I'm going to do is just lightly press that underneath my eyes. What I'm doing right now is actually a technique people like to call baking, but basically you can see there's a lot of powder there. I'm just like leaving that underneath my eyes just to set for a little bit so that my under eye area can really absorb that powder. So you're actually going to leave this while you do the rest of your like cream contouring or anything else. You're going to let that set for a little bit. And it's okay if you have these like streaks right here because you're going to go back in later and blend it out. But you really want just that to really absorb under the eye. So while my under eye area is baking, I'm going to go in and actually use my cream contour. I got this a long time ago from MAC. It is a Pro Conceal and Correct palette in shade medium. I need to get a new contouring palette. I really like the sticks from Smashbox. They're amazing. But I've had this for so long, I don't like not using products, like buying new ones if I have something just like it at home. So I'm going to use this, and because this is a high glam, I am going to use a cream contour as well as a powder contour. I prefer to not go in super far to do this because I like being able to blend it out. I like having like an emphasis, and I think it's more natural if you don't go all the way to your mouth. Typically the rule of thumb is just 2 to 3 fingers, but I'm going to keep it right there and then just buff it out with a damp beauty blender. Alright, so for the powder part, I'm actually taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit, and I've used up the majority of it, but I'm using this middle shade right here because I am a little bit golden undertones. So we get a little product on there. I'm also going to tap it off because I don't want any excess product. So you want barely any product because a little bit of this palette goes a long ways. So again, I'm going where that I originally put my other cream contour. I'm just going to lightly press that on top of it. As you can see, it's a really dark line. That's okay because I'm just going to lightly press it on. And then going back in with my Sephora 4 Coverage Airbrush brush. I like it because it's so dense. I really like it for blending out product. So I'm going to go back in and blend that out. Again, I'm not dragging it downwards because you don't want to have sunken cheekbones. I'm just pressing it up and maybe bringing it down a little bit lower. And really, I'm more pressing it as opposed to moving it around. So next up, after I've contoured, I'm going to go with the bronzing color to bronze up my face. You also can use the exact same bronzer from the palette. My personal favorite though is the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. It's amazing. And so I'm just taking that on an Eda brush. I'm going to blend this into my hairline. So I'm actually going to start here and blend it upwards. And again, with any of these products, less is really more because it's really easy to get heavy-handed really fast. So it's easier to go in with less products and just build upon it as opposed to going in with too much and then having a hard time blending it out. And next up, I am going back in with a Sigma tapered blending brush. I'm just going to blend that out. I'm using my banana color from the contour palette, and this will really help define that contour. I'm brushing this on my chin, just very lightly down the middle of my nose. And then finally, I will blend out underneath my eyes. You can see it's a lot more absorbed than when it first was because my skin was really soaking in that powder. I'm going to lightly press this down. But it's really important to go back and forth, and actually it'll look less creased if you go in this way from the outside to the inner corner of the eye. And next up, I am taking the highlighting powder from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. I'm going to be highlighting my cheekbones. I typically don't like to come down all the way down to my cheek because I feel like it looks too much. I typically like to just highlight right through here. So going in with my Sigma brush again with that pigment on it, I'm going to lightly brush this on. Again, just taking that and just lightly running it across. And it's also important to do your Cupid's bow, especially if you have little lips like me, and even your chin. So just contour the highlight, or just highlight the highest points of your face. You can run the rest of that product. There's barely anything left on the product, just running that along my nose. I am going in with the slightest amount of blush too. I really want the focal point to be my lips and my eyes. So I'm going with a tiny bit. I'm using the Sephora Collection. It was the Color of the Year Marsala palette. I'm using like the middle shade. I just love this color on my cheeks because I feel like it really gives a really nice peachy glow. I'm just lightly blending that on my cheeks with a Sephora Collection Pro 55 brush. And actually you can use this brush for foundation, but I like using it for blush as well. Alright, so finally for the last part of the look, we're going to do the lips. So I'm going to do a fun, bright pink color because it's springtime and I love wearing bright colors in spring. So we're going to do a fun pink lip today. I am going in with Native. It's my Urban Decay. It used to be a lot bigger than this, but it's my Urban Decay lip pencil. I'm going to go in and just line my lips. And this will create a really nice good base. So the reason why I'm putting it all on my lips as opposed to just on the outside is just to create a really nice base for my lipstick. So now that that's good and on there, we're going to use the Bobbi Brown. It's a pale mauve. I really like this color. So we're doing a pale pink. So I am going to do a brighter pink. My bright pink I'm going to use is Candy Yum Yum from MAC, and it's really bright. So I wanted to tone it down by using some lighter colors first. And this lipstick is really creamy, so it'll help the Candy Yum Yum from MAC that I'm about ready to use blend in a whole lot better. Because this one's pretty bright. I'm just going to tap it on too because I want the whole color to be there because I want it to be as bright as this. So to tone it down, I'm just lightly packing this on. And to create a soft ombre look, I'm putting more of the pigment towards the corner of my lips. Alright, so this is the final look, you guys. And if you have smaller lips like me, this may seem a little strange, but I'm going in with the NYX Stumble Eye Pencil in Milk. And I'm going to put that right in the middle of my lip just to make it look a little bit bigger. It's going to be very slight. All I'm going to do is just blend that out. And I'll create a soft ombre lip. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed my full glam prom makeup tutorial. And you can also wear it again for formals or any fun night out with your friends. And please also check out the lovely Arena for her natural prom look. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy wearing this look out, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Just have a great one.